And now we're going in to see another Valencia, our tail of the tape, and Anthony Valencia taking on Mark Hall, rematch of the Freak Show final, number 1 and 2 at 170, and our co-main event this evening.
Yes, it's going to be. Not only is the number 1 spot at 170 on the line, the number 1 spot for the pound-for-pound wrestler in the country on the line. Without further ado, let's kick it to the mat.
We are set for the co-main event of the evening, presented by FloWrestling and Easy Flex Sport Mats. This match is scheduled for 3 2-minute rounds at 170 pounds. Introducing first the man wrestling out of the green corner, a 4-time state champion, 3-time Fargo champion, a Super 32 champion, and a cadet world champion. Wrestling out of Minnesota and ranked number 2 in America, Mark Hall. His opponent awaits across Grace Hall and wrestles out of the black corner, a 2-time state champion, a Fila Junior champion, a Fargo champion, and FloWrestling Nationals champion. Welcome the future Arizona State Sun Devil, wrestling out of California and ranked number 1 in America, Anthony Valencia.
Here we go. We're going to do it 170 pounds. Anthony Valencia in the black, Mark Hall in the green. These two met just about a year ago out in Las Vegas. It was Valencia coming out the winner in overtime. Hall this summer, cadet national champ. And he catches a foot, world champ. He catches a foot right away. Hall's going to take it back to the center, try to trip Valencia down. Valencia's going to dive underneath, try to create a scramble. Mark Hall's got a rear standing, Anthony Valencia, and he plants him on the mat. Earns the takedown and the first 2 points of the match. And he said it, Ian. He said, I don't want to hold back. I felt like the last time we wrestled, I held back and I didn't take enough shots.
Well, in that Freak Show match, there was not a takedown in regulation. Both guys had some opportunities, maybe were a little tentative on finish. Mark Hall, though, right away comes out guns a-blazing.
I tell you, he gets it right away. Went to that upper body, jacked up the double unders, went body lock, and transitioned to the leg beautifully. Valencia dropped underneath to create a scramble. Hall denied him of it.
And Hall's so comfortable in just about every position. The kid wrestles more than anybody. It just has a ridiculous schedule, such feel for the sport, and you saw all of it on display right there.
Absolutely, and as I alluded to earlier, Mark Hall won a cadet world title this summer. Anthony Valencia made his first junior world team, had a great performance out there, wrecked the competition until one small mistake cost him, and he was eliminated from the tournament. But before that, it looked like he was cruising to the finals.
Oh, I think he really made his stamp on the international stage and showed he's going to force to be reckoned with. Like a lot of these kids, he is very upfront. His goal is to win world and Olympic titles, really thinking beyond the NCAA aspect of things, and proved this summer that's very much within his grasp.
And another big lift and return by Mark Hall. He traps that arm too. Valencia gets it freed again, but Mark Hall, with 34 seconds to go in the first period, has come out and kind of set the tone early.
Yeah, he absolutely has. It's been all Mark Hall so far. Valencia, though, he just needs to get out and cut this lead in half.
He's got 26 seconds to do that.
Yeah, and that makes it an entirely different match.
Please. Set.
Valencia set underneath. Hall on top.
Set.
And Mark Hall said he was determined. Said, I want vengeance over Anthony. And we spoke to these guys. They said they haven't talked to each other all weekend except for once. Somebody asked the other one, are you going to wear a shirt? And that was it. So, I don't think there's, well, maybe there is bad blood. I don't know. They're definitely taking this seriously, definitely avoiding each other. a somewhat lighthearted atmosphere overall with these guys. They come down here, they work out together, they have a big dinner. There's a big FIFA tournament in somebody's room last night, but you know, I think the guys that are wrestling each other, for the most part, avoided too much interaction with each other.
Yeah, it's definitely a business trip, and there is that the inherent awkwardness of we're pounding around right now, but I want to kick your butt on Saturday night. And particularly with these two, both you have the spotlight of being the last match, so talked about. You've already met once. They're not really in the mood to pal around with each other.
And, you know, like I said just a few moments ago, you know, not just 170, but pound for pound, #1 guy determined right here in front of us.
Yeah, this is, you know, Willie Saylor, really the guru in the rankings world, thinks these two are the best that the country has to offer. Have put it on display so far. And Hall just a junior, so we've got another year to enjoy Mark Hall at this level before sticking him on.
I've been watching Mark Hall for a decade.
Well, Mark Hall really burst onto the scene as a 7th grader when he won his first state championship in Kentucky. He's been a fixture. Valencia really came in with less hype than his brother the first year or so.
Here we go again. And look at that. Mark Hall's going to go trip. And he's got to the edge. Body locked it again. And he's going to take Anthony Valencia to the edge. Out of bounds. Secures the takedown. And now a 5-point lead with 1:16 to go in the second. Hall, look at this. We'll take another look at it. There's that body lock. Caught the ankle at the end. So it was a transition to go from the upper body to the leg. Really smooth.
And Hall's so comfortable in all sorts of positions. Like, he's really a feel wrestler. And that's just, again, his entire skill set on display on that one. He's really taken it to Valencia here.
Set the tone early, and he's kept the pressure on the whole time. Was worked to the midway point of the bout. 55 seconds to go in the second period, and not only does he have the 2 takedowns on the feet, he's controlled him on the mat.
He's been brutal from top here so far, and really giving Valencia no opportunity to get himself back into this match. He's got a lot of ground to make up, which on a guy as good as Mark Hall, he doesn't give up many 5-point leads.
And you know, we talked about when are we going to see an NCAA final that started here? This could be it.
It would not surprise me as Valencia puts Mark Hall in his back.
Momentary lapse, but no change, says the referee.
No change, green. You're still down.
Control, he said. Reaction time.
Valencia awfully close to getting Mark Hall in a lot of trouble there. And that would have changed the entire complexion of this match. Hall, though, again, Mr. Calm, Cool, and Collected, rolled through, got off his back, kept the leg, and he's still up by 5.
And I think that's one thing that is one of Mark Hall's biggest strengths is his composure. He doesn't get rattled. He gets in bad positions. He's just so poised.
Action, man.
He's got a look on his face like a blank look on his face. Not panicked, not worried, not excited, not overly rushed. And from his years of experience on this big stage, he went with the senior world team to Tashkent, Uzbekistan, spent, I think, 3 weeks training with them in Rome before that, and really exposed to some of the highest level wrestlers in our country.
Yeah, there's nothing in a match that will surprise Mark Hall. He's seen everything. He's wrestled in a just absurd level of competition as Valencia.
And there is your first point on the board for Anthony Valencia. It's going to be 5-1 as we come to a close in the second.
Neutral.
And Anthony wants neutral. And look for him to keep space and try to blast through with some doubles. Mark Hall said he was ready for Valencia to take 10 to 12 double attempts. Well, Valencia hasn't had the chance to do that yet. There's his first and his second.
And Valencia kind of a half-hearted reshot, and there's your go behind and score.
And it's a takedown.
And we just talked about Mark Hall's mat awareness, the sense he has to keep his outside hand in bounds there.
Yep, that was smart, that's savvy, and that's a veteran high school junior.
Yeah, veteran high school junior, and those aren't the rules he uses in a scholastic season. That's kind of the odd
he was aware enough. Wow.
Just mighty impressive from Mark Hall.
I would say he's got a very high wrestling IQ.
Yeah.
And look at that, trying to tilt him up and get some backs. He's trying to put an exclamation point on this in a potential major decision.
1, 2,
And he's going to get at least 2.
4, 3.
And he's got a full 3 set. It's going to be 10-1 after this. Mark Hall has the major decision at this point. 1:07 to go. Mark Hall absolutely dominant.
You think Mark Hall's had that free throw match in the back of his mind? This is an electric performance from the Apple Valley Jr.
It is impressing like no other, and the difference, a lot of things. Takedowns, the mat riding, the lift and returns. That's about 4 big, powerful lift and mat returns.
And there's been he's held nothing back. He's put all of his skills out on display. It's as impressive a performance as I've seen in a match of this magnitude in high school.
Whew.
Set.
And Anthony Valencia not used to matches like this. See with the slow walk back to the center. Valencia.
Here he goes, Anthony Valencia. He's going to have to pull something out of his back pocket that we have never seen before if he's going to want to defeat Mark Hall, who's sitting on a 9-point lead with 20 seconds to go.
And right now, Mark Hall's thinking, I'm going to hold you down these next 15 seconds, leave absolutely no doubt, not only with the 9-point margin, but you can't get out from under me. I have really turned the tables and get that mental edge on Valencia, too.
And it looks like that might be the case. Valencia came in as the favorite. Mark Hall, though, said, you know what, some people view me as number 2 right now, and I don't like that.
I don't think anybody views him as number 2 after this evening.
No, I don't think so either. 8 seconds to go, and Hall has just put on an electric performance. He's going to let Anthony roll free, but that's going to be it. And look how excited Mark Hall is.